In today's question, what were the steps you took to get over your grieving or try to get over your grieving? Hello and welcome. I'm Joshy and look at Squirtle. Today's episode is still about our adventure, but it's a little bit different because this is a different kind of adventure I've never been on. And I've never been on a grieving adventure because this is basically why I moved. One of the reasons. There's multiple reasons, but the biggest reason is grieving. Let me give you a story before the actual story of the other story. When I was younger, and up until now, I understood grieving, I just didn't feel it. I was very apathetic towards it, to the point where I was an asshole about it. I've lost pets along the way. I had a duck who was mauled to death by a dog. Didn't really feel all the emotions to it. My frog got a firecracker up its ass. Technically I think it was a toad, but yeah, neighbor kid. One of my dogs drank antifreeze. That was horrible. Still didn't feel those emotions, like a normal person would. Bunch of cats I've had along the way, I had to let go, or just they disappeared. Even to like one of my cats, my ex-wife, she put down because it scratched her mom too many times instead of just taking him to somewhere that he could live. It pissed me off, but I didn't feel the actual emotions to the grieving. And it's very interesting. So I've had people die. One of my friends got shot. I didn't really cry. I cried for a different reason, but I didn't cry for him, sadly, oddly. And my grandmas, both of them died in about a week apart, or like days apart, honestly. Still didn't cry really. One of my grandpas died. Still didn't cry. I've had people at work die. Like 3 of them technically. One of them was really, well, two of them were really my friends, but still didn't feel those emotions. And like one of my friend's brother died. I didn't really feel the emotions of the death. The kid was awesome as hell. He was freaking great. And I know his brother was going through a lot, so I helped him as best as someone in my apathetic way could. Gave him hugs, told him I was here if he needed me, let him talk. I didn't really say much. I usually didn't for people who grieve, because I don't believe in saying my condolences or I'm sorry for your loss or oh, they're with Jesus now. I don't believe in all that, because it's just words. It's just once upon a time, yeah, I'm sure it made someone feel happy. Oh, well, thank you for that. But to me, it's just like words. It's not the same as just going up and hugging someone, letting them know that you're there. Of course, I'm a very essential person that way, that I'd rather hug someone. And then like another friend, his dad died, and I was there for him. I'm so apathetic that when another person came up to me and told me that one of their friends had died, who used to work there, I flipped out on her and I told her, why does everyone come to me with this problem when they know that I don't have that same emotion? Because she wasn't trying to just tell me that this person died. She was trying to make me feel what she was feeling, or at least that's how I felt. I really don't know, but self-defense Joshy was like, no, stop, go away, I don't care, she died, it's over, she was old, whatever, and I walked off, I was a prick, okay, and for that one little reason, I did apologize to her, but she did not take that apology. She actually cut off our friendship for a lot of different reasons, but she's kind of a dick also, so needless to say, Death and Joshy really didn't do very good because, like I said, I was very apathetic towards it and I didn't quite understand the feelings attached to them. One of my friends asked me what'll happen if someone close to you dies, like maybe your dad or something, and I said, I don't know. I honestly could not say what I would feel. She said, oh, well, you're going to feel like this, and you're going to feel like that, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's how you would feel. That's not how I would feel. Whatever. So, on to part 2 of this whole grieving thing. A few things happened, and we found a kitten, and we named him Cricket, because he would chirp like a cricket. He was the most adorable little dude, and yeah, he scratched me up, and he would beat me up a lot, but that's because I was the only other cat in the house. And he wanted to play, so I would play. And he would rough me up. He bit me in the face right here once. He latched onto my head. Oh, that cat was crazy. He was actually not just crazy. He was amazing. And every day when I got home from work, he would be right there, waiting at the door for me. And I'd pick him up. We'd go to he'd do his little meow. I'd pick him up. I'd go to the room. I'd fall backwards on the bed with him, and he would nuzzle me up on my face, you know, scenting me, and I would pet him and he'd purr, and we would just do that for like 30 minutes. We'd sit there, and I don't care what people say, that is affection. Some people are like, oh no, he's just scenting you. He doesn't, cats don't know love. That cat knew love. And he loved me, and I loved him. He was my son, you know, and there was a lot more times where he would just like cuddle me, he'd come up here and just like lay on my neck, because he was a weirdo, or he would jump on the back of the chair and, you know, he would put his arm on me, and, you know, little stuff like that I noticed. I would try to be there for him as much as I could through my depression, which was hard because for those 3 years I was quite depressed, and I wish I could have had more time with him to show him that I did love him more, you know, play with them and, you know, do all the things that a father would for his baby kitty. But then one day I found a lump on his leg. Well, technically it was 3 lumps, and I don't know how that happened. The lady said that they can just pop up out of nowhere, because prior week there was nothing there. I looked at pictures. It might have been there. I just maybe not noticed because, again, life happens and you forget about things, you know. And so I took him to the hospital. Well, the veterinarian over at Bentfield, which I don't like Bentfield. I don't like them. Don't like them at all. I think they killed my cat. But besides that, he had cancer. There were cancerous tumors on his leg, and they were infected. When I say infected, they were badly infected, which I don't know why they didn't treat the infection. They did do a sample. They got a sample of it, and when they did that, the infection would come out through his leg. So for 2 months, I would treat him, take care of him. I would clean up his little infected wound. Sometimes I had to it was disgusting. Had to ooze it out, get it out of his leg. I don't know if that made it worse or better, but it would come out either way. So, there was times I'd wake up and next to me was a pus ball and blood. That was not fun, but I didn't care because it was my baby. And there were times I had to wake up and pee. And he would throw up quite a bit. He was throwing up a lot. He would throw up to the point where he didn't want to eat anymore. He was afraid to eat. So I had to bottle feed him. And I got a ketchup bottle and put food in it. And used that because it was a lot easier than using a, plunger syringe thing. And it held a lot more food for 1, 2, 3, or whatever. And we had a routine. I'd wake up, I'd shower, get ready for work, feed him, clean out his wound. I'd usually clean out his wound and then feed him because it was just easier to do that way. Get him some drink, because he would drink only out of the sink, not out of a friggin' bowl. Sometimes he would, but then when he got really sick in the last 2 months, he kind of just like slumped over the bowl. It was weird. Like he was trying to drown himself at that point. But, I mean, he would lick the water, but like he would just like, because he was so weak from not eating. And one day I had to go to work. It was a Sunday, but I usually didn't work Sundays. But I kind of had this feeling before I went to work that he wasn't okay. Because that day he really didn't want to eat. He didn't want to drink. And I got home, walked in the door, and I saw his little body underneath the tree. Not the tree. Well, it's like a square thing. Anyway, whatever. It's a little cat thing that he had. He was underneath it, and he was just laying there. I was making a bunch of noise, and he didn't move. And I was like, oh. So I went over to him, and his eyes were open. They were completely waterless. His mouth was open, and it looked like he died in a lot of pain. I didn't have any medicine for him because we ran out. And the only thing that was keeping him alive was the medicine that the veterinarian gave him. I wish I could have given him like Tylenol PM or something. But I didn't think he was going to die that day. Well, I kind of did, I guess. Sadder than that, my nephew watched him kind of die. He was there with him when he died, petting him, not realizing that he was already gone. And, you know, like, he was laying there crying because he saw him throughout the day just meowing in pain and falling over everywhere. So the normal cricket thing to do is wait for Daddy to get home. And about 3:30, he went out in the front room, like planned. He always did, and waited for me. And then he died. I just sat down and pet him. I didn't know what else to do. I told my nephew, hey, Cricket's dead, and he was like, oh, okay. Sounds like me most days, but I sat there. I pulled him out from underneath where he was, and I didn't like cradle him or anything. I just put him on the ground and I pet him. And then I got a box, and then I put him inside that box. And I took that box to my veterinarian, who cremated him, and here he is. Here's my little cricket. It's my little son in this little can. That's the first time I have honestly ever felt grief. There would be times, like, because I had to go to work the next day, so it's not like I could just take off work, you know, for anything. And that next day, I just bawled my eyes out inside the freezer where I worked, you know, and that seemed to be the place where I bawled my eyes out mostly, but this was for a different reason. People kept asking me, are you okay? You shouldn't be. And I'm like, I'm fine. Just leave me alone. And for the most part, a lot of people were really cool about it. Some of them were like, oh, my condolences. And a lot of them felt so fake. Just by them saying those words to me. I was like, that's how it feels, isn't it? That's how it feels when people say my condolences. It means nothing. You're just saying it because you have to or something, you know? Especially when one of these people said it. It was, oh my God, I just looked at her. I'm like, are you serious right now? That was the worst condolences. Get out of here. But I miss him. You know, I miss my little buddy. I miss when you would be there, you know? And it was hard because we had another cat too, and she didn't know what to do. She kept looking for Cricket. That made me cry. Oh my god. She kept looking for him, like, hey, where are you? And he wasn't there. And you couldn't really explain to her because she didn't understand, because, you know, cat. Then, a week later, something else happened to me. My father died. And here he is in here. So my father is here, my cat is there, and that question, what will you feel like when your dad dies? Doesn't feel good, that's for sure. My dad and I, we had a very strenuous relationship. We were both stubborn, and I don't really know the past as well as he probably did because, well, obviously I wasn't really there. I was like 2. And whatever happened between all of that, I took it differently than my sisters and my brother. And around 16 years old, I disowned him because I was tired of all of his broken promises. Hey, I'm going to take you hunting. Hey, I'm going to take you fishing. Hey, this, hey, that. And then he wouldn't. And then he would take my cousins, or he would take my nephews, or very rarely did that happen too. Or, you know, he would take someone else, and he wouldn't take me. I felt very hurt by those kind of things, so I disowned him. Went on with my life, got married, got divorced, you know, went to college, graduated. I invited him to these events too, but alas, he never would make it, so, I don't know, money, blah, blah, blah. But recently, we got caught up again. We caught up again, and I let it all go. I let all of that animosity for him go. It was a month before he died, ironically. So, I don't know if that's ironic, but I didn't really get to spend time with him after we made up, and I regret that. But I'm glad we made up. That probably made him feel better inside. I know it made me feel a lot better because, like, last Easter was not fun. I bawled my eyes out. Not religious, okay? It was about him. Easter is a sore subject, or was a sore subject for me. There's a lot of things to that, but we're not going to discuss that. I think what I learned out of all of this is to be a little more sensitive to people who are grieving, because I am not over any of this yet, and it's been since February-ish or something. I don't really know at this point. I forgot. I did not deal with grieving very good when I started to feel it. I didn't confide in my friends like I should have, or my family. I kind of just shut everyone out, and I moved. I moved away from everyone because I thought that that was better for me, to run away, I guess. I don't know. But I should have confided in my friends more. They would have been there for me, and I know it. And they would have been. But, like always, everyone has to go through things, and I had to go through this. It was hard. It's always hard for me to confide in people because I'm so used to people confiding in me that when I truly want to confide in someone, it feels like, it doesn't feel like they don't care. It just feels, don't know how to explain it. It just felt weird, okay? So when my dad died and Cricket died, and everyone kept asking me, are you okay? Are you okay? And I kept telling them I'm fine, even though I wasn't. I mean, they knew, but they just kept telling me, you have been going through a lot of stuff right now. A lot of things is happening to you. And I really didn't see it. Like, I was like, I guess, sure. I mean, right? I don't know. Like, those aren't just the two things that were happening, you know? There was a lot of other stuff also happening between my job and home life and everything. So, like, there was a lot going on in here, and I just kept shrugging it off like it was nothing. No, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Until one day, a friend said, hey, I'm going to move somewhere out of state. I did not hesitate. I said, okay, let's go. Put my month into my job and told them, hey, I'm going to be leaving in a month. I need to find a new department manager, blah, blah, blah. And then I moved. I moved away from everybody and everything because I did not know how to deal with grieving. Well, there was still, like I said, a lot of reasons why I moved. But the main one was the death of my dad and my cat. And it was hard. And it's still hard. I really don't know how to get through it because all it takes is a thought. All it takes is a thought. I'm in tears on the bed just crying by myself. I literally shut myself off from people by moving away to a place where I'm by myself. Instead of doing the logical thing and staying and dealing with these problems. But I didn't want to see that apartment anymore where my cat was. Because every time I looked over, I see where he died. I see where he would sit. I would see where he would lay, you know? And that was hard. I think the thing to take away from this would be confide in your friends and family. If they are going to be there for you, let them be there for you, because it is so much better to have them there than it is not to. Trust me. Secondly, don't run. Hit it face on, because you don't get over it. You never will, but you can at least move on from it, which I'm trying to. It's kind of why I do these videos, honestly. It's why I'm taking a journey in life, so that way I can move on. Like I said, wasn't only because they died that I left. I left because I needed to. I needed to see something more out there, even though it's just been my room for the most part. But I need to see a different world. I miss my friends, I miss my family, obviously, but you gotta go and do things. So, figure it out. Grieving is not easy. I mean, I lost my cat son. It's not the same as a human son, supposedly, but for me, he meant a lot. If you enjoy these videos and what I'm doing, give me a like, subscribe, share the crap out of it, hit that notification button. Like Squirtle, because he's awesome. Like Pikachu, he's also awesome. Hug someone, let them know you love them. Call them if you have to, text them. If you're not a caller like me, and you'd rather just text people, text them, let them know you love them. And I will see you in another video. Hopefully it's not as sad. So, with that being said, I'm out before I cry myself to sleep. I'm going to use him as a pillow. He's very comfortable. And Squirtle, you watch. Yeah, because I laugh. I laugh in horrible situations. I laugh at funerals. I laugh all the time. That is my defense mechanism, and I will use it to protect myself.